Welcome to Talking Tech. I'm your host, Catherine Bennett. This is the talk show all about cool technology, from cybersecurity, artificial intelligence, right the way across to different technology vendors. In this particular episode, I am joined by my favourite pre-sales engineer, Daniel Oxley from Doppel. Welcome to the studio. I know we're going to go into a little bit more detail about, obviously, the organisation you've recently started working for. But I would like everybody to know a little bit of background about yourself, in terms of, firstly, how did you start off in the industry? Kind of what drew you in? As we both know, once you're in, you very rarely leave. So why, from your point of view, why did you go into IT and then into cyber and so on?
No problems. Well, first of all, thanks for the intro. That's quite a high bar you've set, but thank you. So this is a really easy topic. I don't have a job. I have a hobby. So from very young age, I had computers. My older brother had computers. He started to teach me how to program back when BBC Micros and things. And then it just became a passion of mine. And so I've always lived around computers. If I'm not working on them, I'm probably doing something on them at home. My home office is full of cables and bits of computer and everything. So when I was at school and college and uni, I didn't study computer science. It was just a passion of mine, and it was just like the natural progression. And it's just gone from there. I've worked at vendors, channel partners, end user customers as well, everything in between, small, large companies. I've worked abroad and everything else, and I've just loved every minute of it.
That's amazing. And I suppose in our industry in particular, excuse me, it's so interesting. It's constantly moving, isn't it? It's constantly changing and evolving. So I guess from cybersecurity's perspective, there's always something new and interesting going on. But obviously, you have all the fundamentals right the way from obviously when you started, right the way to the current time. Oh,
most definitely. Yeah, no, most definitely. I mean, I originally sort of started in the IT ops world, support, moved through consultancy. Now, the IT ops is very much around hygiene. It's making sure things work properly, they're configured properly, and you're using tools and your users are using the tools in the right way. The security aspect is totally different. It's a moving target constantly, and all of the new innovations, which will certainly come through, like the AI stuff as well, all those innovations that you're using to protect businesses, well, the attackers are using them as well. And so that you never get to sit still, constantly evolves, and every single day something new happens and some new way of attacking or breaching something is discovered.
And I think that's, again, going back to obviously when we used to work together, I always trusted, your sense of direction, obviously the technologies that you believed in. And I think it's important that when you do work for an organisation that you do believe in the technology, which is why I'm super interested to find out about Doppel, why they're good. So we're going to go into that in a little bit more detail. I guess that the thing that I'm going to start with, before we kind of go into Room 101, and I'm sure you've probably heard of Room 101, where...
One of my favourite books. Yep.
Good. So I am going to be asking you for two things that obviously you can drop into the box that you don't like, doesn't have to be IT related at all. But just initially, before we go into Doppel itself, what attracted you to them? Why Doppel?
So that's an interesting one. So before joining Doppel, cards on the table, I hadn't heard of them. But really my biggest gap, shall we say, I didn't realise how big of a problem actually this is in cyber. A lot of organisations and people, when you talk about cyber, a lot of people focus on, the firewalls, the patching, the EDR, all of those sorts of aspects of it. But a lot of the social engineering aspect is often overlooked. And I see that now from within Doppel. And so from the very first moment I saw Doppel, Dylan DeAnder, who you know as well, he showed the tool to me and I spoke with other people. I realised how fascinating the world is. And that just got me hooked. It just drew me in immediately. I wanted to find out more. I want to understand the problem more. And it's one of those problems where, I've worked for other vendors, as you know, everyone already knows what the problem is and they already know they have the problem. There's other products in the market where sometimes you have to spell out what the issue is for someone to realise, oh, actually, yeah, we do have this problem. But with things like social engineering, impersonations, malicious domains, spam email, dark web, crypto, all of those aspects, Everyone knows it's a problem. It's in the news. We all know someone that's probably been fooled by a phishing campaign or a text message from HMRC or something.
Yeah.
So it touches everyone. It touches customers, users, people, businesses, executives as well. And it's a very exciting problem to solve. And
it's, again, another thing that we're going to touch on, which I'm super interested in from kind of my experience as well when working with the artificial intelligence space, Agentic AI, which I'd love to go into as well. So just quickly, before I go off, because I know that we will spend quite a while talking about all these other areas, I'm going to give you 2 cards now, and I'm going to ask you to write a thing.
Okay.
It could be a thing. Hopefully it's not a person, but it could be anything at all. 2 things that you're going to put into the Talking Tech box about anything at all.
I've never been asked this one. I won't make it political.
Yeah.
Because and I won't rant about it either. But this is probably a very easy question to answer. So there's many bugbears I have, but there's a couple that really, really grind them with me. So first and foremost, I love going to football matches.
Yep.
But the ticket touts buy all the tickets up on the day they go on sale and put them on StubHub at 2 or 3 times the price.
Yep.
And then you can't get a ticket. And that absolutely infuriates me. So I'd like to put ticket touts, but also the reselling websites like StubHub and SeatsNet.
Agreed. And also, not just from a football point of view, but any tickets, really, isn't it? Sometimes...
Is there any other sport?
Don't get me started on rugby. But no,
concerts, everything.
Absolutely.
I mean, if you, look, I'm not going to rant. But ticket touts.
Well, at least you didn't mention football clubs or football teams or anything else.
That's polarising, you see. Absolutely.
Because I think we could have a few comments on here as to which is the best team, but we
yes. If anyone knows, if anyone's watching that knows me well, they know which team I'm referring to. They are the greatest in the world, but.
No particular colour,
we'll leave it blank. Yeah, but ticket touts really gets me.
Yeah.
The other one. So I do quite a bit of travel, both personal and with business. And a lot of that travel is short haul. And so something that really gets me are reclining seats on a short haul flight within Europe. Yeah. Because there's not much room anywhere in the plane.
Yeah.
So you might sit down, you get your book out or maybe your laptop. And of course, I go in economy. And just as you get started, the seat goes back. But no, I'm not saying you don't recline your seat because everyone's entitled to it. But in my personal view, the seat doesn't really go back far enough to give you that sort of sense of, I'm laying back, I'm comfortable, I'm going to fall asleep.
And also, there isn't enough room to put your laptop on properly, is there?
Absolutely.
And actually open the lid up, because I've done that a few times, and it's like you're sort of in such a tiny little space and you're trying to type away, but the lid isn't quite up. So it's not practical.
Completely right. But if you go on a long haul flight, it's different because the seats go back properly.
Yep.
So, but I'd also like an ejector seat button for the person that actually reclined their seat.
Do you know, I've seen recently, and I don't know whether this is actually going to become a thing or not, but I have seen that they're talking about airlines having standing only. And I've seen the pictures. Again, I don't know whether that is a thing or whether that's real or it's going to happen. But I thought maybe for like a really short, really, really short flight, but for a long haul, how is that going to work? Or, again, are people going to stand there and... I don't know how that's going to work.
I can't stand up for 5 minutes, so it wouldn't work for me. But yeah, so those are the 2 I'd banish to room 101.
Do you know what? I think I'm going to have to agree with both of those. I don't think they're practical nor helpful in any sense. So hopefully, and I did see actually one of your more recent ones. You went to the US, didn't you? The pictures looked beautiful.
Yes,
so that's going to have to be one on my bucket list to go to. Yeah, because that did look incredibly beautiful. So we will perhaps maybe come back to that one at a later stage.
Fantastic.
So thank you for putting those 2 in. So one more question I have before, and this could be related to Doppel. Where do you see yourself in the next 5 to 10 years? And that's probably a really difficult question, because I think especially in not necessarily just our industry, but also, from a personal life perspective, so many things can change, not even just within 5 years. 10 years is a long way away.
So I've never known the answer to that question, ever. So when
next year, maybe.
So never. I mean, I'm approaching 50 now, and even when I was still at school, my parents would be, what do you want to do when you grow up? And I thought, Well, I don't know. And I still don't know now. I've just followed my heart. This is what I want to do. This is where I want to be.
Yeah.
I could give you a generic answer. I mean, I love Doppel. I love the technology. I'd like to see I'm still at Doppel, or maybe I'm still doing another startup business, something equally as fun, as long as it fuels that passion of mine for technology and meeting people and solving problems, then I'm happy.
I like that. Do you know what? I was expecting you to say on a beach in Spain. That completely threw me there.
Well, work from home would allow me to do that anyway, yes.
Yeah, exactly. But no, thank you so much. So I guess the more serious bit now.
Okay.
So obviously I'm really, really interested in Doppel. I've had obviously a quick look around and, understood some of the areas or some of the key things about Doppel. But just in a nutshell, I'd love to understand, who are they? What do they do? Mm-hmm. And I guess, again, kind of going back to when we used to work together, I like the fact that when you sit down and you talk about technology, you actually approach it from the point of view of what problem does it solve?
Absolutely.
And I think that would be really, really, interesting from an audience's perspective to just understand, what problem does Doppel solve for
Absolutely.
everybody, really?
So look, we're a small company. I think this week we just turned over to 197 people. But we are already engaging with the biggest names in the world. And I think that's very indicative of the problem that we're trying to solve. So in a nutshell, and I was thinking about this in the car on the way over, and I sort of coined a phrase of digital skin. Mm-hmm. So what the idea is we teach our platform what your digital skin is. Mm-hmm. And what I mean by that is your brand, your presence, who you are, what you sell, what services you offer, all of those items. But from the external perspective, so your websites, your brand names, your logos, your public presence, we teach our engine all of those aspects so that we can then go out and find impersonations, malicious intent, mm-hmm. anything which might suggest an attack is happening, or a threat is there, or a weakness, or an impersonation is occurring, which is detrimental to your business, to your users, your employees, your customers, or your third-party suppliers as well. Mm-hmm. And that's what we're trying to solve. We take your digital skin and then we find where it's being misused. And then we take that problem away for you. And we take it away incredibly quickly, mm-hmm. faster than anyone else is doing it on the market. And we keep, when we say it's gone down, it stays down. And so what that means is, I won't mention any names, but there's a retailer that we're working with where there are lots of fake brands which are popping up on Etsy and sort of Chinese auction markets. Yeah. And the problem is it's detrimental to their brand name and their reputation because people are buying things which are of inferior quality. Okay. And so that's obviously a loss of revenue, but it's a loss of reputation. Mm-hmm. But it also applies music artists. So a music artist which is losing revenue because of fake merchandise which is being sold online. That's absolute use case which we just sold for a well-known rapper recently as well. So it's all about taking that digital skin and making that problem go away for that company.
Mm-hmm. Brilliant. And I guess, I suppose the boom of artificial intelligence as well has been a big impact because there are, at the speed that people are doing things now, obviously creates more channels and more environments and I guess more ways that people can mm-hmm. reach it. So talk to me about kind of the involvement of Agentic AI and how that is a really positive thing for Doppel as well.
Yeah, so I struggle a little bit with the term AI because everyone uses it. Everyone says we've got
a big buzzword.
It is a big buzzword. Yep. Yeah, everyone said we're AI this, we're AI that. And from my personal perspective, a lot of companies have sort of bolted an AI component onto their product to make it work and then use that moniker. We are very different. So we use Agentic AI not as some helper function or a layer which we're pushing data through. It's baked into the core of the product from the first line of code to the last line of code. And what we use it for is once we've taught the engine your assets, your digital presence or your digital skin, mm-hmm. we use the AI engine to go out through image recognition, optical character recognition, similarities, deepfakes. We go out searching trawling the web, searching content online, social media, dark web, crypto sites, everything. We go out and find the similarities, the matches that are potentially matching your own genuine assets. And then we also use the Agentic AI to then make determinations, to glue indicators together. Say, well, this attack campaign, it's not just a fake Facebook page. It's actually got a telephone number. It's actually got WhatsApp accounts, Signal, Telegram, email addresses. It's a whole infrastructure which is behind that Facebook webpage. We can use that Agentic AI to create a fantastic spider diagram. We call it a threat graph, which shows you that entire infrastructure as a whole. And all it's taken is a simple, or as I often call it when I talk to people, we seed it with some breadcrumbs, and then the AI is following that trail to go and identify where the rest of the dark corners are on the internet, where these malicious assets are living.
Wow, super, super interesting. And I guess from Doppel's point of view, I've noticed as well, you have like a simulation tool. So again, obviously useful for people to have a look. Explain to me sort of what that simulation tool is and what it does.
This is super cool. Okay. And this is, I'll try not to go off on a massive TED. I love the simulation module. Okay. So it works on several factors. So human risk management is the quadrant or the category name, if that's the right phrase for it. There's many other SAT, security awareness trainings, HRM. There's many solutions out there on the market, but we aren't a plus one. Okay. Yep. What we do is, again, using Agentic AI as well, is that it's essentially, you can break it down into several pieces. We can perform multi-channel simulation attacks against your company. And by multi-channel, against your employees, I should say, just to clarify. It could be telephone calls using deepfake voice. It could be SMS smishing, phishing through emails. But we can do on multiple fronts as well. Yeah. And we can run those campaigns against your user base, because what we want is your users to fall victim to our attack, learn from it, so that they don't fall victim to a genuine attack. But the way where we try and where we really differentiate ourselves is the level of sophistication and the level of believability, for want of a better phrase, is second to none. So my voice has been deepfaked. So I'm in the system, and we can do deepfake phone calls to people. And all we do is we give it, it's a bit like using OpenAI. You give it a prompt and you say, you are Catherine Bennett. You are trying to get your password reset. You have little time, express urgency, start the phone call with some small talk. You give it all this prompt, and then away the phone call goes. And it will be relentless in trying to get the information out of the user. And it's much more believable, much more realistic than your classic sort of the emails you get. Oh, you've got a Royal Mail package and there's some postage due. Click the link, pay the postage, and you lose your money.
So clever.
And so that's the real core of it. But then what we can also do is, on our brand protection, our executive protection side of the platform as well, if we detect let's say catherinebennett.co.uk, okay, if we detect some impersonation attacks on your brand name, your logos, your image, your products, everything else, we can take those attacks and then convert them into a simulation attack as well. So the system will learn from what's out there at the moment, and then it will create a realistic internal simulation, which you can then run against your users.
And again, from the technology's point of view, a lot of companies will always detect something, or they'll always say, hey, look, we've come up with this problem, but they don't necessarily resolve it, take it down, or, come up with a solution. So I guess from Doppel's point of view as well, I understand they have a takedown functionality. Again, explain to me about sort of that piece and the speed of Doppel as well.
Right. This is a very interesting topic. So we discover the assets, okay, and we find all the information that's out there about your particular threat, or there's a campaign against you or something, and we've chained them together. So we can understand it's a much more sophisticated attack. From a user's perspective, and I've got some screenshots as well, which you can share. Fantastic. From a user's perspective, they will see the entire attack chain laid out, and we call that a threat graph. And all they need to do is click the request takedown button within the console, and we will take it all down. Okay, now what that actually involves under the hood is essentially we have direct partnership relationships with all of the vendors, the DNS registrars, the web hosters, the cloud providers, the social media websites, with all of them, we work very closely with them as well, and we make takedown requests, and we can take down content in as quick as 20 minutes. And we will take down that entire infrastructure in one go. So rather than playing whack-a-mole where a website pops up, you take it down and then the website pops up with a very slightly different address, or a WhatsApp channel pops up as well, and you've got to make an individual takedown request for each one. Yeah. And a lot of our competitors, they charge for each one as well. With us, that's part of the platform, and we'll take it all down in one go. And then after that's done, one of our Agentic AI, I almost called it a bot. It's much more sophisticated than that. It keeps an eye on it. Has that content reappeared? Is it under a slightly different website address? If it is, just take it down immediately and it's gone. And so when our customers say take down, it's taken down and it stays down.
And that's really impressive, isn't it? Because, you know, like we said before, you sometimes almost have to have teams behind a certain technology to then do something with it. But if Doppel are there to be able to give you that option, and then obviously you're just acting on it, incredible.
AI isn't perfect, but we've got the Agentic AI running there. It makes determinations. We can build in rules that says if criteria 1, 2, and 3 are met, this is sufficient for a takedown. Go take it down. The engine might flag something, escalate it for a SOC, or maybe for the customer. So it depends on the customer's configuration. They can have it automated, or they could be alerted as well, or they could live somewhere in the middle. And so, and we can cover all of those use cases. But we can be running, if the customer wants, while they're asleep, a fake domain can appear, and we've taken it down before they even get out of bed in the morning.
Impressive, really, really good. So where we're talking about who this is applicable for, and obviously there can be, I'm hoping you're going to say there are so many different areas. Most people concentrate on things like finance or legal, or who is the kind of ideal customer, or is it very, very vast, or, you know?
So there's the way I get asked this question every single time by prospects and customers, and I always flip it back and say, well, who cares about your brand? Okay, and when I use the term brand here, I'm referring to everything that is part of that digital skin, and it could be the members of the board, executives, it could be, you know, the digital content, your logos, your products, or your employees as well. So who cares about the reputation of those assets? Those are the people who this is relevant to. So we often have customers where the legal department has access to the console, the marketing team, because, you know, brand misuse. Legal could be copyright theft, DMCA requests. They have the IT and security, of course, as well. The executives might want access. So there is no limit. You know, we want as many people to have access to that console as possible. We can generate reports in whatever flavour and style they want it to be to get the precise amount they want. And if they want something that's more sophisticated as well, more bespoke in terms of reporting, well, we integrate with all of the platforms out there to push data, ingest data as well, so they can get precisely the answer they want.
And I guess everybody has their own brand and their own assets. You know, nobody wants a phishing attack or a, you know, domain impersonation or any of those things. So I guess any organisation really, it's applicable for, isn't it?
Yes. So this is something that really surprised me when I first started, because I kind of fell into the trap of, we're going to be talking to a CISO, we're going to be talking to security people and probably banks, and but actually no. You know, as I said, last week we've just signed up a famous musician. Okay. I must confess, I didn't know who they were. I had to ask my son. And
so no names. We're not going to mention any names right now.
My son rolled his eyes and said, come on, Dad, he's global. But musicians, retail, financial services, there is no limit, because in this digital world where we live in, everything's online. You know, you look at the attacks just in the last 6 months, the very public attacks, ransomware, a lot of them occurred through phishing attempts, okay, or third-party suppliers, which fell foul of a phishing attempt as well. So there really isn't a traditional fit or target that we're after. It's anyone that is interested in protecting their brand. We can protect it and make all the malicious content go away for them.
That's amazing. I'm super impressed. I mean, like you said, I hadn't heard of Doppel either. But then when I started to look into it, I thought, you know, incredible. And the same from Agentic AI and all the other channels that you're using as well. One of the things that I also am quite interested about as well is where you see Doppel in the future. So I noticed that obviously you got Series C funding in November, last year.
Fantastic news.
Again, it brings, I know we were talking about before we came on the studio, another vendor that obviously we both worked for, and it was so interesting that at that time where it was just about to kind of really take off and get that kind of that industry awareness. The other thing that I thought was also quite interesting as well was that CrowdStrike's George Kurtz has also obviously become a recent, investor and advisor of the business as well. So I guess where would you like to see Doppel go, or where do you think it will be? And it's hard to say, really, isn't it, in this kind of industry or this world? But
that's a tough one. I mean, first of all, the news was amazing. Okay, and the energy that you could feel within the company when it was announced. I won't confess to understanding the ins and outs of finance and everything. I'm a technical person, but it's product development. There's the roadmap items which we've got scheduled are unbelievable. I mean, for me personally, when I was deepfaked in the platform, it kind of blew my mind as well. But we're doing deepfake videos as well now. Okay, and we're doing so many other items on that roadmap, and it's just creating a platform which is just incredible. And I do demos and I talk to customers and I get so excited about it. I almost have to apologize afterwards. It's like, listen.
But I think that's what you need, especially, again, when you're out there talking to customers, is they're always looking for something new, something exciting. So many technologies out there say, there's no silver bullet and you can't do this and you can't do that. But you can get pretty close, I think, with a lot of new technologies.
Well, bear in mind that, and in my view, part of that, the concept of there's no silver bullet, is because the target's moving so fast.
Yeah.
Here we are talking about, malicious domains and social engineering, but we don't know what's around the corner. And where's AI going to go in the, AI is already writing source code. Ransomware to order can be written entirely by AI. I've done demonstrations of it, writing code for people, and it's just so powerful. So it's more of a case of, it's just no one's had the idea yet.
Yeah.
And that's why when I try and demo to a customer, rather than give them a harbour tour of the product and say, we can do all these bells and whistles and we do all of this, I show them a very simple screen to start with. And actually, I gave you the screenshots and you said you'll overlay them. So on the first screenshot, the one that you can see on the screen at the moment is just showing you a single event, a single alert. And that alert is just saying, this is a malicious website.
Yeah.
Okay, this is malicious content. And coming back to your point about the agentic AI, but what actually we are doing, if you show the second screenshot now, we've gone much broader. Say, what else is that linked to? And you can see in this picture now, it's linked to an entire campaign, what we call an infrastructure. So in that campaign is right down to the telephone number of the person that is running that campaign, because they've linked it to a Telegram group or a WhatsApp group.
Yeah.
Or they've linked it to an email account, MX records, DNS records. And so you've got this really sophisticated campaign, but the customer does, or the user, the console, they don't need to understand what an MX record is or what DNS is. They just need to know, okay, I can confirm this is not good. Please get rid of it for me. And that's what we want to do. And that's what this second screenshot absolutely spells out to people.
Wow, that is super, super impressive. Well, I'm actually really excited to see where Doppel goes. Obviously, a lot of industry, professionals that I know as well from the industry that obviously have joined Doppel as well. So definitely something is happening there and something very positive for the future. So I'm going to move to something quickly now. I've obviously quizzed you quite a bit over Doppel and obviously your industry experience. I'm now going to test you on something. So basically it is called the Tower of Hanoi. So basically the rules are, no pressure here, the rules is that you have to get these 5 coins, discs, whatever you want to call them, to another peg. Doesn't matter which one. But what you also need to do is you can't have a bigger disc on top of a smaller disc, one at a time as well. I'm also going to time you, so no cheating. I'm going to press go on.
Can I come up with like an answer which is out of the box? I thought around the rules.
No.
Okay.
We are going to see how quickly you can do it, and then it's going to go onto the leaderboard. So Are you confident that you can be the quickest you can be?
Absolutely. I'll have a go. Let me put it up there. So I can show how bad I am at it.
The nice thing is that you are top of the leaderboard at the moment because you're the only person who's done this. So
I'm first and last.
You are first. Well, I wouldn't say last, but you're the first.
Okay.
So we're going to see how quickly you can do it in.
I've never done this before. This is brand new to me.
We love challenges. So, right, ready, steady, go. And I'll try not to keep talking to you to distract you.
It's all right. I'm not a multitasker.
And I'm going to give you a little insight into this. This was actually my son who suggested this to me because he saw it on Planet of the Apes, and they got the monkeys to do it. So, no pressure here.
So I'm not sure if you're suggesting that I'm no more intelligent than a primate or something. I feel like I'm doing quite well.
I think you are doing very well.
I've made a mistake there, definitely.
When I said top of the leaderboard, I didn't say for how long.
Yeah. Yeah, no, you see, I've completely messed up now. That should go there. Right, here we go. I think I'm getting it now.
You're doing well. You haven't quite got the record, 53 seconds, though. I am definitely putting you off now.
Yeah, you're just rubbing it in now. At what point do I throw in the towel? I'm just moving pieces at random now. So I need to get this one off. That's right.
You'll have to come back in on another episode just to see if you can do it quicker.
Oh, hold on. No.
Oh.
I'm getting... no, that one on there. That one on there. Oh, here we go. And now that's about... I make that about 9 seconds. Stop.
1 minute, 23 seconds.
I feel like it was okay.
I think that was pretty good. It was, considering it was your first time, but... We shall see how long you are on the top of the leaderboard for. Moving on.
Okay. I did have my glasses on as well. I feel like that's. I've got excuses.
That's a bit kind of hot and
the pressure.
I think you did very, very well. So that is, you'll be pleased to know that is the last challenge over and done with.
Thank you.
It just leaves me to say, look, thank you so much for coming in.
That's a pleasure.
It's been an absolute pleasure having you in. Loved understanding about Doppel. I hope things go extremely well. I'm sure they will with the rest of the team. Exactly. And thanks for coming on. Hopefully we'll see you soon. And
thank you.
Equally, thank you very much for tuning in. What I'm going to do is drop a couple of links to all of the information about Doppel, where you can find their simulation tool and all of their demo links. But if you would like more information, please feel free to comment more info and we'll get in touch.